Hi, I'm Maria from Pony Design, and today I wanted to talk to you a bit about fabric folding and fabric storage, which, when you're like me, have acquired quite a collection of fabric after a few years, becomes a bit of an issue if you don't have a system in place. I store everything in IKEA furniture, and therefore my folding technique comes from when I had all my fabric in an IKEA Benno pillar. Since I work with quite a few different cuts, I have pretty much the same folding technique for all of them. And they end up in these neat little piles. They are square and they stack nicely and quite evenly. And you can get a nice little display of your fabric without using any tools like cardboard for comic boards or similar, which gets quite expensive when you end up with a lot of fabric like I have. Anyway, I thought we would start with fat quarters, and for this I'm standing at my ironing board. I have a quilting ruler, which is 6" by 24". The reason I have chosen this ruler for my folding is because the 6" fold fits perfectly into the IKEA Benno pillars. You can of course choose a different size if it fits better in your storage or shelves. To start with, I have a fat quarter of Tula Pig's beautiful Suma fabric, I might add. I place the selvage facing down, and I start folding like this. I fold over a small edge, and I hold on to it with my fingers at the edges. And with the help of the ironing board, which creates a little friction, I slightly pull back on my ruler to get a tight fold all across the ruler. So while holding down, I continue flipping over, and I flip again. And the reason I do it with the fabric selvage down is that when I then look up a fabric, I don't have to unfold the entire piece to look at the selvage. Now, not all fat quarters have selvage, mainly, but those that does. If this fold doesn't end up in the middle, this fold here, you can just put it down and sort of roll it over a little bit to place it exactly in the middle. Then I hold on a bit and I pull out my ruler. And then I start folding again from the end without the selvage, again for ease of reading later. I start with a small fold like this and fold around the ruler and over like this. And when you fold this, it might take a few tries. If you accidentally make too small a fold and end up with this piece not fitting nicely, just start over. It's much easier to have the small fold inside the square than on the outside edge, so to speak. Also here, if you have a small edge sticking out, you can do the same kind of roll that I did with the previous fold. And there you have it, quite a neat little square. And I'm going to show you again, because something you want to keep in mind when folding these is if you fold them all in the same direction. For example, when I started with the other one, I had my selvage on the right-hand side. If I do that for all of them, after a while, this tower will start leaning because you get a bit more fabric on the one side. So therefore, it's important when you do this that you keep your selvage alternating on the left and on the right so that your stacks won't topple over to one side or the other. So again, this time with my selvage down and on the left, I fold over a small section. I hold on to it with my fingers. I pull back and I start folding. Again, if I need adjusting, I just roll it a little back and forth. I pull it out. I start my fold a little bit in. I tighten it again. I do this without thinking, so sorry for not saying it earlier. Again, I just pull back a little bit on the fabric towards the ironing board so you get that bit of friction for those nice and tight folds. And there, very pretty folds, right? And now, when we come to yardage, I have pretty much the same technique. I unfold it all, but I keep the center fold so that you have it like this. You can see the selvage here, and it's folded. So Keep the middle fold because it's easier when you have working with quilting rollers. Again, I place the selvage down. Oh. Again, I place the selvage down. And also with the yardage, you want to do the same thing, alternate left and right with your selvage. I fold over a little bit. I hold on with my fingers. I pull back on the roller to get a bit of friction and get that tight fold all across here. So I pull and I twist. And like this. And again, I center this little fold a bit. And now when I pull out, since this is a yard or more, I just fold it once in half. And this way because I both keep track of how much I have of a fabric, since all of my less than a yard cuts are folded like this. And my yard or more cuts are folded like this. I easily know what I can use for what project. And also because if I fold this like I fold these, it gets actually quite bulky. And now I should have twisted this a bit more while I still had this on the ruler. Then this would have lied nicely in place. But as you see here, if I fold this like I do with the others, it still works, but it takes up quite a lot of room in your drawers. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. Have a good day.